this lighting is incredible. Hey everyone, welcome back to Ormsby Farm. My name is Casey. So we're back in a back bedroom of Mom's house. Please excuse all of this mess. It is all going to the farm, so I'm trying to kind of pack it up and get it ready. But today, we are starting some seeds. I am so excited. If y'all been following us for a while, you know that I started some last year. So we were working with about 100 square foot of garden space last year, and we're working this year at the new homestead, about 3,000 to 3,500 square foot of usable garden space. So we have a lot of seeds to start. As you see, I have my little thing full of seeds we're starting this year, and I know it will only get bigger as the years go on. But what I'm starting today is I'm starting our onions from seed. I'm going to start some of our herbs, and I'm going to start some of our flowers, our cut flowers that I'm doing from seeds. I did a previous video on how we're kind of laying out our homestead, and I'll leave the kind of index card to it right over here. If you have not seen that, after this video, go out and check it out. But what I'm doing today is starting those seeds. So if that interests you, come along and let's start some seeds.
I'm coming home.
Alrighty, so I have kind of a different couple of types of seeds that I'm starting today on the video, just to go over a couple of the supplies that I'm using. But I also want to start off by showing this, my sweatshirt. Let me just tilt you down. It is so cute. It is a sweatshirt, long sleeve. It's so warm. I got it from Greater Good. It's a dog rescue organization. It's so cute. It talks about me and Destiny in the garden. I guess that's me and that's Destiny. It's so cute. So if you want to know more about Greater Good, I'm going to leave it in the description box, a link to their website. So, you know, I'm messing with my hair because I don't want it to fall today. So first I'm going to talk about everything that I talk about and use, that I use today. I'll have a link for it in the description. It costs you no more. It helps out our channel. We would greatly appreciate it. But getting into it. So one thing that I learned from last year. Last year, I was using these. These are ginormous, and yes, they're great. Starting seeds in it are no good. So what I'll do is I'll start the seeds in what I have, a new thing, and then transplant them into this for selling seedlings at the farmer's market. So some things we will be selling at the farmer's market, and I'll be selling them in those. I am going to do some in solo cups as well. But what I'm starting the seedlings in are these. I got them off of Amazon. I got a ton for like $8. And I'll be starting them in this so I can kind of label them with the labels I had from last year to start, and that they fit evenly into my tray, my seedling tray. And I'm going to kind of insert right here. I'm going to show you my setup for how I start the seeds. This is kind of like, it has the plastic cover for it, so it's supposed to be an outdoor kind of greenhouse kind of thing for starting seeds. What I have is the trays, like I spoke of before, the heat mat, please disregard if there's dirt all over them. And then I have a grow lamp, and I have it in two different sections. So I can start, because we're starting a lot more seeds this year than we did last year. I'm sure it will grow as we go on, but this is my kind of setup. And I like to go ahead and get them turned on, the heat mats, so it can start warming up for when I put it on top of it. I learned that last year, that the soil temperature is so important. You know, I cannot stress that enough. And also behind me is the south-facing window. I will be opening that. All of this stuff is moving to the farm, so disregard all of this. So let's sit down and do some seeds. So yeah, that's my setup. I've kind of upgraded it. So I had one last year. I got an extra one so I could start more seeds. Again, I am a novice when it comes to starting seeds, but I did learn a little something, something from last year. And the great thing that I like about those little 6 seed starter ones is they fit beautifully in this tray. And this year I'm going to be bottom watering. So they're easy to pop out and then pop back into bottom water. But I'm using those. I'm using that seed tray, and I am doing a seed starting mix. It's an organic seed starting mix. One thing that I learned about this last year is that I put it in dry last year and then watered. What you want to do is you want to water the soil, get it nice and moist before you add the seeds in there, and then water afterwards. I'm doing the bottom watering again. Make sure you get a good seed starting mix. And this is, it's got the peat moss, it's the coconut coir, the vermiculite. This is what you want to start seeds at. Then after that, you want to find a good potting mix soil, or if you have your own compost and soil, if I can talk today, to then transplant it into either the solo cups or the plant little transfers. Again, all of this will be in the description box below on my recommendations for it that I've learned, that I've liked, and there'll be links below. So what I'm starting today is, most of y'all know I love me some burpee. And I'm going to be doing a lot of their seeds. Now, I have gotten some seeds from M.I. Gardner and from Baker Creek Heirloom, and have been so blessed to be sent seeds from my friends and subscribers here on YouTube. So I'm going to be starting different herbs, onions, and flowers today. So I'm trying to get them all together, and then I'll show you what I'm starting. Alrighty, so when you start off with your seed starting mix, it kind of feels, this is the dry one, I haven't added anything to it, kind of feels like air or a cloud. It's hard to explain. It's very dry, very soft, very light. What you want to do is add water to it and let it sit for a minute. One thing that I learned last year, because the soil temperature is so important, I add lukewarm water to warm water to the soil so that the soil starts off at a certain temperature. You don't want it too hot, you don't want it, definitely don't want it too cold, but you want to add some in, and I'm going to add it and kind of mix it together, just so you can kind of see the consistency that the seed starting mix should be at. And as you add it, starts, I don't know if you can tell on camera, but it starts to get a little bit more solid, but this definitely needs some more water. So I'm gonna add some more water into it. And y'all don't judge my fingernails from this, because y'all know it's gonna be dirty. There we go. Now it's starting to feel right. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just let this sit for a minute, just to kind of soak everything up, and then we'll add it into our little cells right over here, and then start putting some seeds in it and start putting our labels on it. Alrighty, so it sat a little bit and I added some more of the seed starting mix in there with it because I think I'm going to need more for all of the seeds that I'm starting. But a good consistency is when you squeeze it, it feels like a sponge and that there's no water coming out, just dirt falling. No water coming out. That's when you know it's ready, and it sounds kind of like a sponge too. Well, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer all of these, or transplant all of the, see if I can talk. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move all the soil to the cells, but I'm going to first kind of show you what I'm doing for each of the cells, because I'm starting kind of like a tray and a half, and figuring out how much we'll need. I may have to start some more, but I'm starting these so that when they're sprouted and I can transplant them into solo cups, I can move them to lower levels of the greenhouse start, so I can then, in I guess about a month, start my tomatoes and peppers and all the veggies that I'm going to be starting. So let me put this to the side over here, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to see what cells I'm starting. So this is my half that I'll do here. And each one has, as you saw before, I'm just going to try to do it again, 6. And I'm going to put multiple seeds in each of it. So if they all germinate, it could potentially be up to 3 or 4 plants per cell. So I'm doing, or per, yeah, I'll call this a cell. So cell 1, as I'm shooting this video, I'm actually chatting with my 2 friends, Carmen over at Jesus Loving Homestead and Monica from Bland's Promised Land Ranch, on Mammoth Sunflowers. And we're going to hold off on these for now. So that means I need to find one more thing to do here. And you know what? I think I'm going to do another. Yeah, I am. I'm going to do another dill. So let's go ahead. I got all my kind of plants ready. Some are 2 per cell, but mostly they're all 1 per cell. And I'm going to put about maybe 3 to 4 seeds in each. And I'm going to follow the directions in the back and how deep and everything. But I'll show you once I get into it. And of course, I'm going to need to make more soil. So, because that's just how it works when I'm shooting. Let's get you back over here. So one thing that I learned from the M.I. Gardner channel, let me see if I can scoot back so you can see. No, I need to push the camera, Casey. Is to push down like you're pushing on your eyelid. So not hard, and you don't want to compact the soil. Just give it a good kind of compress. Then we're going to go ahead and start making the labels and putting some seeds in here. So my first 4 cells here, I'm going to be doing the onions in. The onions are usually like 10 to 12 days for germination, and then like 180 days until they're ready to harvest. So you want to start those kind of early. So I'm just basically going to open it up, and then all of them are about 1/4 of an inch deep, except the red onions are 1/2. So what I just do is I literally just press and make that hole in each of them. Now, yeah, you can get some fancy finagled tools to measure exactly, but I don't. And I'm just going to put 3 to 4 seeds in there, label it, and then we'll move on to the next one. So now that the onions are done, basically the herbs and the flowers are going to be the same thing. You need to look on the back. Most of the things, let me see if I can get it and I'll get focused. Will you focus on me or no? Oh, let's see if there's good. So basically it will tell you the depth, the space, and all of that kind of things. Everything you need to know is on the back of the seed starting one. If you still have questions, you can always DM me on Instagram or any of your favorite homesteading people. We're always very glad to answer questions. So let me go ahead, get all of this done, and then we'll come back and talk about why I prefer bottom watering. What I like to do for ones that say like barely cover or 1/8 of an inch is I really just like to just brush it over the top. The peppermint, spearmint, tarragon, those are a couple. What I like to do is I like to press down the soil, and then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to sprinkle a couple seeds over the top. Don't waste them, put them back, and then I like to press those seeds into the soil. Very lightly, we're just pressing it in like we're touching our eyelid. And then all I'm going to do is barely cover. I'm gonna spread it out, and then I'm gonna press it down a little bit more. Alrighty, so in the, all of it's plugged in, so our heat mats are getting warmed up. On both sides, our lights are plugged in when we're ready to turn those on. I do them for 12 hours a day. To bottom water, all you're going to do is just gonna pour in the water. Make sure it's on a pretty level surface. And we're gonna let it sit there probably about maybe 10-15 minutes. And I'm gonna come and check and pour out the excess water. And I'm gonna do the same to this top one up here too. Alrighty, y'all, so I'm actually bottom watering in the bathtub. A lot of the seeds have germinated. Some of them are 8 to 11, and we're on day 7. So I'm not really concerned yet. But as you see, a lot of the onions have started to sprout. The cilantro is slowly. Thyme and basil has sprouted. The mint is slow. The rosemary is slow. Parsley is slow. Look what else. Everything else pretty much all germinated. You can hear these are the flowers. And I'm gonna wait maybe a week or so more, maybe 2 weeks, and then I'll transplant them into a bigger, smaller cup and separate some of these to have more plants. Same thing for the baby's breath here at the bottom and the chamomile. But right now, everything's looking like really super good. And I love this lazy way of watering in the bathtub. So y'all, thank you so much for tuning into this video. If you're enjoying these videos from our channel, make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon so you know that anytime that new content drops to our channel. Follow us on social media at Instagram and Facebook at Ormsby Farms. And until next video, y'all, be blessed. Bye.
I'm coming